how I went from being obsessed with music to almost never listening to it. In this video, I wanted to share my experience about music and how I managed to not, listening to it always everywhere. So if you need some tips about how to stop listening to music, this video is for you. Stay with me and don't forget to subscribe and to leave a like, because in this way you are supporting me. And let's start with the video. 4 years ago, my relationship with music was very different from now. I was so obsessed with music. I was always listening to music everywhere, anytime. I was always in my headphones, outside of the world, thinking about my thoughts. If I was sad, I was listening to music. If I was happy, I was listening to music. Then there was a period of my life where I wasn't, having my best time. One of these moments of life where you feel sad because something it's not working out as you want in your life. So the thing that I will do to help myself to help, but in reality it wasn't helping, it was just make things worse. I was having this urge to listening to music, but I know it that actually this sad music, they will make me more sad, they will make me crying more, but it was like an addiction. For me, I think that music, it can be also an addiction, like drugs, like social media. It is an addiction. And the reason why I'm calling it addiction, it's because it's very bad for us, music. And it's not something that I'm saying it, but there is also neuroscientists that they are saying that actually music, it's bad for our mental health, it's bad for our brain. And actually there is also people from the music industry, like celebrities, singers, that they themselves, they say that actually music, it is plenty of frequencies that they are harming us, they are harming our brain. Just watch this video that I'm gonna show you right now, which is very concerning.
Music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind. If I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that. What's the point of music? Niggas don't know. It's not always to have fun. It's not always to have fun. Sometimes it's to help people find themselves, because music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? And then see that I'm really, really actually helping people, bro. At 15 years old, I was doing sound engineering. So I was playing with frequency. I was playing with equalizers. Now, if I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, if I want you to astral project, right, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
Actually, there is also a study that shows how music can also increase our anxiety, our depression, or any existing condition that anyone can have. Because when you listen to music, especially if it's a song, for example, that it's about depression, it's about anxiety, or it's about negative thoughts, this is gonna make you worse. Because when you're gonna listen to this music, you're gonna only remember the bad things that happen in your life, or maybe in that moment you are having a negative event or a bad event in your life, and by listening to this music, this sad musics, you are gonna make your condition worse. You're not gonna feel better. Yeah, maybe in that moment you are gonna feel enjoying that music, but after that you're gonna feel worse, because that music is gonna only remind you of the negative thing that is happening in your life. And this is what actually I have realized with myself. I, started thinking, okay, maybe music, it's making, my life worse. Maybe music is making my anxiety worse. Maybe I should stop. Also, as we know in Islam, music is haram. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was very clear about it in a hadith where he said that the musical instruments are haram. And this is where I wanted to arrive. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes something haram to us, it's because there is a valid reason. And I know that a lot of people, maybe by watching this video, they are just thinking, yeah, but it's just music, it's just a moment where I want to enjoy myself. It's just a moment where I want to have fun with my friends. And I know that because even me sometimes, even if I'm not listening to music as I was, 4 years ago, sometimes, unfortunately, and may Allah forgive me for this, I find myself, listening to music with other people, or sometimes maybe by just scrolling on social media, I'm listening to music. This is another, issue. When something is haram, it's because there is a valid reason for it, because music, it's harming us. It's a bad things for us. And it's not only about, mental health or about neuroscientists or the music industry. It's not only about that. Unfortunately, music, it can bring us, the other people. I don't want to say their name. By doing that, you bring them us even closer, which it's not okay, of course, in Islam, and you know how they can really harm us. Okay, I don't want to talk about it anymore, but I hope you have understand me. There is an interesting story that I don't want to, share it right now because it's a very long story, but it's very interesting. And it's a story, a real story that happened, I think, in Kuwait. I'm not sure about that, but it's talk about this singer that she was invited to sing in a wedding, and something, very scary happened. I'm gonna, leave it in description so you can read that story, which is very interesting, and it can make you, reflect more about the harm that music can bring. So after all this, we know that music it's bad, but how we can give up listening to music, which I know it's very hard, especially when you live in a culture where, music is very present. Unfortunately, today, music is everywhere. It's all in our phone when we are scrolling on social media, it's on TV. Also, when you are out in the supermarket, you are listening to music, it's everywhere. But of course, we can improve ourselves. For example, if you are a person that he is listening to music every day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, you can do better. You can improve yourself. You can, make it less, step by step, and then never listening to it again. So the tips that I will give to myself 4 years ago, it's the first step, it's to have the right intention. It's to go and read the hadith of our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ about, the musical instrument. I should, have a moment with myself and start thinking, first of all, why I don't want to, listen to music anymore. The reason it can be because I care about my religion, because I care about my faith, because I don't want to one day be judged for music. Don't make, music something that is gonna, ruin your akhirah, your hereafter. This is something that, I keep remind myself not only about music, but about everything. But I know it's not easy. It's not easy for me either. But this is why, the important thing is to have niyyah, is to have the intention. In Islam, intention is very important. So having this intention, when you ask yourself, it is very worth it. Should I ruin my akhirah for music? By realizing this thing, I think it's gonna give you more motivation to stop. The second step, the second tip, is to delete music from your phone. You don't need that music. And another thing that I suggest with all my heart is to do a detox from social media, because social media, it's bad for us as much as music. So by doing a detox, you're not gonna help yourself by stop listening to music, but also to give a break to that brain. Spending hours and hours scrolling is gonna help you a lot, and it's gonna, improve your mental health. So as I said, I really suggested try it, and then you will see. Try to delete social media and all the apps, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, anything that you know that you are addicted to it, delete it for a week. Maybe start slowly. Try to delete them for a week, then 2 weeks, then a month, then 2 months. And you're gonna see a lot of results. You're gonna feel really good. And this is something that I have tried, and it has made me, it was, like clean of my head. It was, a very deep cleaning of my hand. It has helped me a lot. Of course, it's not easy, to stop listening to music. You cannot wake up today and say, okay, today I'm not gonna listen to music anymore. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not only about music, but any habit. You cannot, stop it overnight. It's gonna take time. This is why you're gonna go with steps. And in the third tip, I wanted to say to you to try to replace music with something else. Try to find another hobby that is gonna make you stop listening to music. For example, instead of starting your day, I don't know how people can do this. There is people that they wake up in the morning and the first thing that they do, they put music and they will start, to listening to music, very loud music in the morning. Anyways, so if you are one of these people, instead of listening to music, try to start the day by reading a book that you enjoy. Or you can start the day by doing morning adhkar. Like, it's gonna be the best thing that you're gonna do in your life if you start every day, every morning with morning adhkar. Or another thing that you can do is doing journaling. Starting your day with gratitude. Starting your day by asking yourself, for what I'm grateful today. You have a lot of things to be grateful for instead of listening to music. And this is something that is gonna make you feel better. It's gonna make you start the day in the best way. Or for example, you can replace music with podcast. I think also it's a great way to replace music. Podcasts about mental health, podcasts that are gonna motivate you to work harder in your life or to achieve your goals. Or they can be podcasts about Islam. They're gonna make you feel more closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Staying in your bed all the day, it's not gonna help you. It's not gonna help you stop scrolling on social media. It's not gonna help you stop listening to music. Go out, go for a run, or maybe go do your workout, or maybe just go out in the park and instead of listening to music, listen to the birds. Like, this is something that I realized recently. The sound of the birds, or the sound of the wind, or the sound of the nature, it's very therapeutic. It's literally therapy. When I go to the park without social media, without listening to music, without anything in my ears, and I just, start observing the nature and start listening to the birds, I feel really good. It's like cleaning my head from negative thoughts, from negative energy. I know that it's not easy. As I said, it's not gonna be like an overnight thing. It takes time to stay away from listening to music every day, but always remember that this is something that is gonna please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the most important thing that you have to remember is that this is something that you are not wanna risking for it paradise the hereafter. So this is it for this video. I hope it was useful. If you have other tips that I didn't mention in this video, I will very happy to read them, and also they can be very helpful to me as well, because I'm not perfect. Sometimes I still struggle with listening to music, especially by scrolling on social media. I hope you have enjoyed our, this little conversation that we had, and see you in the next video, inshallah. Salam.